Bella, welcome Bella and Chinetto. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. Please give me a thumbs up, share this video if you can, leave a comment, right, and help me get a little bit closer to growing my channel, okay? Today we are gonna do the WIPS and faux for June. Yes, I know it's the middle of July, but I have been dealing with life. I do have all of the information for what I've done for for June, but I have had some things going on and I haven't been able to make the video until now, which it's not an excuse, I'm just sharing, right? I know that everyone understands and all of that. I'm just simply explaining why it's the middle of July and I'm just now putting out this video, okay? So I did bits in June, but I also was traveling, so a lot of the projects that I've been working on, I'm sorry, I'm shaking the table, I didn't bring with me, right? So the Waffle Stitch Blanket, haven't touched it because it's massive and I can't put that in a suitcase and still have clothes. The fairy dust, haven't touched it. Again, there are lots of yarns that go with that and a really thick pattern and lots of concentration. I don't have that mental space right now, so I didn't bring that with me. The Stag and the Serpent, I have worked on that. I have done, actually, I'll be right back. I know it's right in the room. Let me go get it and I can show that to you. Okay, I went to go grab it. So this is the Stag and the Serpent so far. I am on part 4. I'm at row 112. So I am moving along with this part. This is crochet-a-long that was done in 2024 with the knotting shed, and I knew that there was no way that I could keep up, right, with the pace of doing all of the pieces. So Kay and I agreed to do it together and just do it kind of as we are able. So she actually has a really, really big project going on right now, helping her daughter do something absolutely amazing. I am just in awe of that woman. But so she took a break from her project and actually just did all of section 4, which we agreed to do that because section 3, right, is the bottom of the Stag, and then section 4, there's not any more story to make choices with because you're just finishing the Stag. So there's story, but it's not something that you have to finish to make choices to what you're gonna do. So I told her that I would take this with me and finish section 4, and then when I get back, we'll start section 5 together. But that also gives her time to work on this massive project that she's doing for her daughter. So it all works out. But this is what I have so far. And I am using my 4mm clover for this, and just so you can see, these are new. I brought extra with me just in case, because especially this one is running really, really low, and I thought I might need more because there's like 180 something rows and I'm at 112, so I might need more. But these are the 2 yarns I'm using for this section. This is the Hayfield Bonus Glitter DK. They actually don't make this anymore, so there's that. And then this is Yarnsmiths Lagoon DK in shade 2J080. And this is similar to the one that I did sections 1 and 2 in, except for this one has like the yellow and orangey pieces, where the other one was all like turquoise and deep purples and blues and greens, right? There wasn't any yellow. And the one, because I used silver, this yarn, but in silver. So I am working on this. again, this is a mosaic pattern, so it does take some concentration. So it's not something that I can just sit and mindlessly work on. I have to have the pattern up, I have to be paying attention and reading and all of that. So there's this. So I did work on that in June. The other thing that I did, which I did a video on already, was the Manfella Mal's project number 3. For me, that was the subscription yarn project. And I have the yarn bands here. One of them, I don't know where it went, but I did use 4, right? This was Lether Co yarn, and there was the Owl DK, Spruce Trees, and Slife Box, and then one was like a mystery hank, but it looked exactly like the Owl DK. So there was that. This is the finished shawl. I don't have it with me because I did this when I was in the UK, and then I took it home and left it home. It's not focusing. You can see the glare. I don't want that. There we go. So that was the shawl that I did. I used all 4. I used up every single little scrap of the hanks, and done and dusted with that. I have not done anything else with the baby blankets, although I did bring yarn to work on baby blankets, and I have the kit that from the Pick Your Kit video. I haven't started that either, but I will. The other thing that I did is there was a yarn shop that I went to when I was in the UK, and you will have seen that video before you see this. So I had picked up some Gossypium, that's what we're gonna say that says, cotton tweed in 2 colorways. I had picked up, it was like a teal color and a cream color. It says it's bone white. That's the color that it says it is, but it looks really cream. So they both have like little tweed pieces in them. I'm trying to find, I took a picture of the yarn. I thought I did. Yeah. So this was the yarn that I purchased, right? And I have it here, but I wanted to show you all of it together. I'm working on it now. But this is 12, shade 12, and it has little flecks of orange tweed and this same color in the tweed, and then this is the color bone white, and it has some blue, like actual blue, and then this color in the tweed as well. So this is Egyptian cotton, and it is so soft and so luscious, and I knew that when I saw it, I wanted to make something with it. Cotton is one of my favorite fibers, but I said, what am I gonna do with it? So I sat down when I was in the shop and I had to think, right? And I was like, what am I gonna make? I've always wanted to make this bag, and so that's what I decided to do, and I've started on it. This is called an accordion bag, and I found the pattern on a website I was looking at one day for something else, and I found it, and I was like, I really want to make that. Now in the pattern, you have a white and then different color strips for the other pieces. It's not quite a rainbow, but they're different pieces. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this. So that's what I'm working on now. And this is the bag as it stands. There are 6 stripes of each color, and then so the handle is one. And I have the other handle I made that one just because this takes up one whole 50-gram ball. And I wanted to make sure that I had enough to make both of the handles, both of the straps. So I have this waiting, and then I'm making each one, and as I'm making it, I'm sewing it on. That way I don't get confused and I don't have to sew everything together all at once. Well, you're crocheting it together, you're not sewing it, but putting it together. So this is the bag so far. And then once you finish it, you take like a piece of leather or something like that and weave it through. And because of the way that you're putting it together, it kind of folds in on itself as you pull the strings, right? And I made, this is the large size, there is a small, so there are two versions of the pattern. I made this large one because I want to use it as a project bag. I have fabric that I want to line it with and all that stuff. So for this, I am using my 3.5 Tulip. Sorry, I hit the microphone. And this is just a dream project, to be honest. It is so easy to do once you start, because you know, anytime you make a foundation or starting chain, right, that's the most difficult part. And I have lots of stitch markers because counting is not my friend, but I have the right side and the wrong side of the bag marked, and I have all of the pieces laid out so I know, and I'm hoping that I have enough yarn. I still have, so the yarn that I just showed you, this is only a partial one because I just finished one of these stripes. This is a whole one, and I have 3 of this color done, and I have 4 of this color done. I have 1 more ball of each of these, 1 more donut. So I have 2 more to make in this color. I have 3 more to make in this color, but I have 2 whole ones left. This will make almost another one. I'll have to add like maybe one row for the next one. And then I'm hoping that the final one will be enough if I crochet tighter. And I already crochet so tightly to make the 6th one. Because I've looked around here and none of the shops that are local to me have the yarn. There are websites that have the yarn that I could buy from and have it shipped to me here where I'm staying, but I don't know that I need it, and I don't want to order it if I don't need it. Just because I'd be putting it in a suitcase and carrying it, and I don't know if I have that space. Does that make sense? So hopefully this project will be finished in July, but I started working on this in June, so that's why I'm showing it to you. And in June, I finished 4 donuts. So I have all 4 of those here with me. I finished those. Sorry, I'm just picking up my mess. And my total yardage for the month of June, I have that added up here, is 1,472 yards. That's what I have so far for June, for just the yarn. Now, I didn't do any puzzles in June because I was at home, and I like to glue my puzzles together when I'm finished with them, and it would be hard to put that in a suitcase, because even if it's glued, it might snap, and then I'd be mad because then it'd be broken. So I didn't do any puzzles. I didn't do any Legos or anything like that. I did garden a little bit in her yard. There was a gardener that came, and he was pulling weeds, and then he ended up having to leave for some other situation, and I just was happy to go out and finish weeding the flower beds. So I did get to do some of that, and I read 12 books while I was at her house. 12 books in 3 weeks. A lot of books. But to date, just on my Kindle, from January to June, I have read 144 books. That's not counting the physical books that I've read. So, yeah, not a lot of sleep happening, but that's okay. I did actually do another, so this, all of this, like the books and the puzzles and the gardening, this is part of the Craft Yourself Free, right? Which is another collaboration between Sam and I, where we're not limiting ourselves to just yarn or just things that we purchased before a certain day or anything like that. We're literally just doing what makes us happy. And she loves diamond painting and paint by numbers and things like that. I like to do puzzles and Legos and garden and read. And so I'm including all of those things in this video because we do have the Craft Yourself Free tag. And you are welcome to join us in that. Anything that you do that makes your heart happy, that you would consider a hobby, doesn't have to be a craft necessarily. Like, I'm not making books, but I am taking time to read them. I am taking time to discuss them with people, and that's where the next part comes in. I actually got to do a book sharing, I guess. I don't really know what it's called, where you read a book and you make notes in the book and you flag it, or every place where you've made a note, right? And you have someone else who's reading a different book and they do the same thing, and then you swap, right? So a friend of mine that I work with, she had a nonfiction collection of essays, and I had a historical fiction book, I guess it would be. I don't know, it was about Achilles. It was called The Song of Achilles. And it had a very interesting perspective, and I enjoyed very much seeing some of the people from the mythologies that I've taught for so long show up in the story. But I made notes in the book and all of that. And then when I went back to Sicily, we actually traded books. And it was fortunate because we weren't going to have time to do that before, because she was leaving to go somewhere, and then I was coming to the States. So it was good that we could swap at that point. Otherwise, we would have waited until we went back to school to swap, which would have been difficult to read the book with the same intensity, because the start of school is a whirlwind. Like, I'm a different person at the beginning of school. There's so much to do, and it's so stressful, and it's exhausting that I don't have the space physically, emotionally, mentally to deal with anything else. I get by at the beginning of the school year. That's it. That's all, because I don't have it. So trying to do that at the beginning of the school year, it wouldn't have been the same. But we get the summer to enjoy a book and share that. So that was also a project that I got to do, which was really, really fun. I'm still reading the book that she gave me, but I did read my book in June, which is why I'm talking about it. So that is all the things that I did in June, even though you're seeing it in July. I hope that you are working on things that you are in love with, things that you're enjoying. If you're making it for someone, I hope it makes them smile. If you're making it for yourself, I hope it makes your heart happy. And if you want to share what you're doing with me, put it in the comments below. Again, you can always share pictures with me. We don't have to be making the same thing. If you want me to put it in my posts, I can do that. If you want me to put it in my video, my WIPS and Bows video, I do one every month. I don't have enough crochet progress to do one every week. I don't. There are sometimes I might get a row in. There are sometimes I might have hours to finish a project. I just never know what kind of time I'm gonna have, so I don't commit to doing one every week, but I do one every month, usually at the end of the month. So if there's something that you want to share with me, you can always send it to me, and I will put it in my video for the end of the month. You can just email me. In the description box, there's a link tree, and in the link tree, there's like my Facebook group, my email, all of that. You can send it to me there, and you can also post it in my Facebook group. If you don't want to wait till the end of the month to see your project pop up on a video, you can always post it in my Facebook group. And there's nothing but love and support there for any craft. Like, I have people in there who are artists. I have knitters. I have there's a lady who makes jewelry. There's nail artists. You can post your work, whatever you want to share, right? It's not just a crochet or fiber arts group, but I am happy to see what you're doing, and you will get nothing but love and support there, because no matter what you're doing, you're putting your time and your heart into it, and it's amazing. So until I see you again, be well, be safe, and be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella!